The following program is rated MALSV. It contains strong language, sexual situations, and violence. It is intended only for mature audiences.
Finally, show with the balls to call it like it is. Rated R Safety Show on Safety FM.
Countdown to audio torture.
The Rated R Safety Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Let the eardrum pain begin.
Forget the corporate bullshit. This is the Rated R Safety Show with your host, it doesn't matter who the host is.
Well, hello and welcome to an all-new Rated R Safety Show. Today is Friday, February the 7th of 2020. Only 38 days left. That's a lie. We're only 38 days in to 2020. And only 328 days left before it's actually over. So I guess we still have a little bit before it actually happens. Anyways, we are streaming to you right now live on safetyfm.com and on safetyfm.live, because that's what we do. Of course, that's what we do, because we talk about it all the time.
Duh.
And then the other thing that we are doing, which is different, I want to admit right out of the gate, we are streaming live on Twitch. Yeah, we're testing this out, seeing how this is going to go, because we wanted to make sure, because we kept on hearing people say, hey, how about we do some stuff somewhere else? And I said, I don't know. So now we're trying some Twitch format. And I guess we're going to do some video content. Probably not going to be the best thing on the planet, but hey, that's my opinion. Because I look at it from the standpoint of it is a radio show. So we look at it in doing radio. Now, of course, as you are aware, we do have the availability from time to time of you listening to this in a podcast format. And that's up to you if you want to do that or not.
Duh.
So, I don't know where we're going to take this thing or do with it. So we will figure it out as we go. And of course, because the people around here always have to make new stuff when we do new things, let me kind of give you some of our new little liners. See what you think.
Rated R Safety Show. Sarcastic? Never.
I thought that one was pretty slick, as they actually did come up with it. The other one that came about, which I thought was pretty interesting, was this one. This was probably one of my favorites.
Listen to our host
Of the Rated R Safety Show.
self-implode on our airwaves, only on Safety FM.
So I thought it was kind of funny that they did make that one. But anyways, that's my opinion. So anyways, like I said, we are broadcasting on Twitch, but I'm not going to waste a lot of your time because you came here for a reason. You came here for us to have a discussion about what's going on in the world of safety. That's how we normally started the show. So that's what we're going to continue about on talking here on the Rated R Safety Show. Now, the other thing I want to bring up right out of the bat is I've been hanging out quite a bit on LinkedIn because, that's what I do from time to time. And the amount of master classes that are available now is ridiculous. The amount of masters or self-proclaimed masters that are out there is quite interesting. I will tell you that almost 7 out of 10 people that want to make a connection with me online turn around and start telling me how they're masters of their domain and how their business is going to make my business increase by tenfold. Now, I don't know, it's a bunch of horseshit, but hey, that's what they're selling.
Duh.
And I keep on looking at it and go, man, if there's so many experts out there that are doing all of this stuff, there has to be a better way to funnel it, opposed to the way that they're doing it right now. Anyways, that's my opinion. You didn't really ask for it, but you did tune into the show. So I guess you do care to an extent. Somewhat. But that's what's going on. But let me not drag this on too long, and let's get you started with the news.
Here is the news on the Rated R Safety Show.
So taking it from the top of the hit list, because that's what we call it here, just over 202,000 Americans have filed for unemployment last week, the second lowest number in 50 years. The lowest was last April across the country with, see, this is where it gets kind of weird. Across the country at 1.75 million people are currently receiving unemployment. So only 202,000 people actually requested it last week. I want to make sure that we're clear there. So, it's pretty good numbers. Kind of take a look at it. Now, I know. Real easy to go, hey, let's talk about the stuff that I don't like to talk about, which is the politics side of it. And that's not what I'm talking about here.
Duh.
So I just want to make sure that we're clear there. Because what we're talking about here is what people are doing if they're requesting unemployment or not, which they're not. So that's why I'm talking about it. Anyways, let's continue. For weeks, a pack of 3 dogs have been invading yards and biting victims in an Ocean County, New Jersey subdivision. At least 12 people have reported being bitten by these 3 dogs. They've been escaping from their own yard. He first had the dogs taken away in December, but he was able to get them back. Now the dogs are in an animal shelter, and the owner is facing new charges. Well, shit, man. What's going on there? Like, did you not know that they were already doing it if you've already had the problem starting last year? I mean, it makes no sense that you would continue to have the same issue. I mean, what are you doing? You have to look at it from the standpoint of, hey, if people brought this up to you, it was for a reason. It wasn't just for the sake of saying, hey, there's something going on with your dogs. I sometimes wonder what people are deciding that they're doing when they move forward with things like that. It's like, did you not know? Anywho, let's not go too far with that one. An Australian town is battling a bat tornado. This is according to the Mirror. And I said Mirror. This is what they're reporting. In Ingram, North Queensland, swarms of bats have been hanging out over the town, forcing residents to slay inside. And I said stay inside, not slay. I did say slay. That I meant stay inside the grounding in the hospitals in air of the ambulance. What? Exactly. The biggest problem is that the species of bats are protected by law. So there's not much to be done to take them out. So think about that. You have a slew, I tell you, of bats that are messing some things up here. And you can't do anything about it because they're protected. What the hell do you do there? Just tuck tail and run?
Duh.
So I don't know. I keep on looking at it and going, I think these people there are kind of screwed. Here you go. You're going to like this one. Indiana University is promising a well-rounded education in all aspects of student lives. So the Health Center, they are sponsoring its 4th annual Sex Fest. Oh, yes, I did say Sex Fest. Attendees get a t-shirt that says, I love sex, and can visit a BDSM demonstration. Students Congressman Matt Aham, is what it sounds like, says that I find it very disappointing that the Indiana University is sponsoring such a weird event. Well. I know that that's not normally a topic that we touch here, but man, talking about the sexo world there, my friends, and what's going on in Indiana, and what's up with Matt here? Is he a little shy, a little timid? Things not going well? I don't know. I'm just asking a question. Kind of a weird thing that you wouldn't want to know more information about. But hey, what do I know? I'm just a guy behind a mic. Americans are perfectly content. Thank you very much. What? 9 in 10 responders to a recent Gallup poll say that they are satisfied with the way that things are going in their personal life. In 4 decades, that is the highest for this particular statistic. Meanwhile, 86% say they're very happy with the American economy. How are you feeling about the economy? Are things going well in your neck of the woods? Are you enjoying what's going on? I mean, this is important. I mean, with all the crud that's been going on the news lately, I would imagine that this is something that you're factoring in, because it has been some straight-ass craziness there going on in the news as of late.
Duh.
So, anyways, as we continue forward, let's continue. Bruce McConville really doesn't want to pay for his wife's spousal and child support. He told the judge this week that he took out 1 million Canadian dollars and he's from Ottawa. Let me kind of make sure that I say that. Over the course of 25 withdrawals, and burned the cash in 2 separate bonfires, adding that there is no witness or records of the destruction. The judge had none of it, calling it morally irresponsible. Because of the adversity impacts of the well-being of his children, McConville will spend 30 days in jail for violating court orders. He had been ordered not to sell any of his property or assets that he used to generate cash. He also owes his ex-wife $2,000 a day that he doesn't properly disclose his finances. $2,000 a day. I would imagine that's Canadian dollars. Let's just make sure we're clear there. $2,000 a day. Think about that. $2,000 a day. That's crazy. But hey, you have to do what you have to do. I don't think it's worth your while going to jail for 30 days. And then at $2,000 a day, are you going to be able to disclose when you're in jail? So that's $60,000. You're already in the hole by the time that you come out. But if you're burning money into bonfires, shit, I think you can afford it. Because I'm not going to burn any money, regardless of how much I have. But that's just me. Anyways, China is cutting out tariffs on American goods. Tariffs are products including soybeans, cars, oil and gas, seafood, poultry will be cut in half starting February 14th. The United States will also reciprocate, reducing its tariffs on $200 billion worth of Chinese goods. Well, I'm glad that we're finally getting that settled. Because, man, was there a lot of talk about that? And I have to tell you, I was worried about the consumer electronics market in particular, because, you know, that's kind of the part that I love, that I take a look at all the time, and I'm constantly buying junk, which I probably shouldn't be doing. But that's a very important segment for me.
Duh.
So, let's continue forward. Uber lost, are you ready for this? $8.51 billion, with a B, billion dollars last year, and investors couldn't be happier. What? Yeah, investors couldn't be happier. The company says that it will hit profitable by the end of 2020, as revenue grew 37% quarter after quarter. Okay, so let's make sure that we understand this correctly. They took a loss of $8.51 billion with a B, but they're growing by 37% quarter after quarter. What do you think? Do you think that that's a load of malarkey? Yeah, I'm going to say the word malarkey. It sounds like a load of shit to me. Because 37% exactly quarter after quarter, you would almost have to start thinking that if that's the case, someone might be cooking the books. I'm not saying they are. I'm just saying somebody might. See, there's a difference there. I didn't blame anyone or do anything. I'm just giving my opinion on the Rated R Safety Show. Let's continue. It might not be smooth sailing for the recertification of the Boeing 737. The company announced that it found a software glitch in the onboard operating system, but are confidently, and it won't delay the jet's returns to the sky. Maybe they should think about that twice.
Duh.
And I'm only saying this because if you already know that you've already had so many problems with this thing, and people are going to be skeptical the moment they find out that they booked a flight and it's a 737 MAX because of all these other issues that have already taken place and these millions, and I'm sure it has to be close to more than millions of dollars at this point, on what this has set you back and what it's costing you. How do you think people are going to feel when they hear this shit now? I mean, I look at it and I go, I get to read it. I get to travel quite a bit, but I don't know. Somebody tells me we're about to jump on a 737 MAX. I might actually have some concerns. But that's me. I'm a little different than most people in a weird kind of way. Don't take it the wrong way. Let's continue. Tech startup Nuro has been cleared to put its autonomous R2 delivery unit onto the streets. The windowless, driverless vehicle has been certified by the Department of Transportation to put 5,000 units out in the wild. They'll start in Houston area with partnerships with Domino's Pizza Delivery and Walmart for home grocery deliveries. Since it doesn't have passengers or windshields, it will be able to get around other regulatory requirements more easily. Woo! Baby! I know that we were going to get to this point at some point about these autonomous vehicles, but how do you feel exactly about that? Because imagine that. You're going to be going down the road. You're going to see like this box rectangle thing with wheels that's going to be next to you and no windows and no one driving it. How are you going to feel about that? Because that has to be the other aspect here. You're going to look at it and go, holy guacamole, man. There's nobody controlling that thing. And keep in mind that machines don't know any better. If they hit you, they hit you. I mean, I don't know what kind of smart sensors and all that other junk it's going to have in there. But I'm sure it will have something. But you're going to have to look at it and go, okay, cool. This is the system that's been built out. But also, this is the system that we're trying to go to. Now, I thought we would have some version of flying cars by now, but we don't. So this is what we're doing. We're going to put cars on the street that have the capability of driving by themselves. Now, if they did get cleared by the DOT, one would assume that things are good. But I don't know. I mean, I like to talk a lot about the transportation industry, but I don't know what's been done. I look at it and go, it'll be interesting to see how it moves forward. What do you think about it? You listen. You've heard the stuff that we've talked about in the past. You know what's going on with some of these states that are actually allowing, Level 5 vehicles out in the wild. Fully autonomous, no driver needed. I know that Florida was one of the first ones, so this sounds like Texas is giving that availability out there as well. How are you going to feel about being on the roadways next to one of those things? Kind of scary, I think. I mean, it might be scary because it's something new. It's not something that we've done yet. It's not something we really have heard a lot about. The true test becomes this. If you have a child, a grandchild, a niece, a nephew, blah, 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 would you be willing to take the risk and put them in the vehicle by themselves? If you can, maybe it's time to test the technology. If you can't honestly say yes to that, then maybe it's not time to be doing it. But hey, once again, what do I know? I'm just a guy behind a mic. Anyways, let's talk about the lottery real quick. No winner for Tuesday's night Mega Million drawing. Tonight's drawing will be for a $187 million jackpot or $130.9 million cash payout. No winner for Wednesday's night Powerball drawing. Saturday's drawing will be for $60 million jackpot or $42.9 million cash payout. Hey, if you win, call me up. I got some ideas. I don't know if they'll be good ideas, but I have some ideas. Anyways, let's continue down the path here, ladies and gentlemen. So I have a list. I have a list that I can share with you real quick. I don't know if this will mean anything, but we can go through it. So, great actors who have never won an Oscar. Yeah, let me kind of tell you straight right away that it has absolutely zero to do with safety. Just a talking point, and it is Friday. So, I mean, you're ready to go home. Most people are ready to go home. So, let's talk about it real quick. I can give you, I mean, the list is 20 people. I can just read straight through it. Cary Grant, Barbara Stanwyck, Peter O'Toole, Judy Garland, Montgomery Clift, Annette Bening, James Mason, Agnes Moorehead, Richard Burton, Natalie Wood, James Dean, Jean Arthur, Robert Redford, Rosalind Russell, Samuel L. Jackson, Liv Ullmann, Orson Welles, Irene Dunn, Jay Garfield, and Myrna Loy. Now, I'll have to tell you, there was a lot of names there that I have no clue who the hell they are. Did you know half of them? Because I didn't.
Duh.
And maybe, you're more driven towards people that are in movies. I think that there was a lot of older people in there. I'm just saying, I could be absolutely wrong. I mean, I'm not a young little kid either, so what the hell do I know? But I look at it and go, wow, crazy stuff here. So anyways, let's talk about the days of the year that you could celebrate here today, because I have noticed over and over and over again as we discuss this on how many different days you can celebrate simply by just looking at the calendar and all the weirdness that's out there. So let's take it from the top. E-Day, Ballet Day, Black HIV/AIDS Awareness Day, Give Kids a Smile Day, International Clash Day, Bubblegum Day, Send a Card to a Friend Day. That sounds like something that was just rigged by the card companies. That's just my opinion. National Wear Red Day. Well, shit, I don't have red on it. Rose Day. National Periodic Table Day. And Wave Your Fingers at Your Neighbor's Day. Now, is that like the main finger? Like the one where you tell somebody that they're internationally number one? Or is that one of those things where you're just kind of waving your fingers? I don't know. I'm confused on that one. Anyways, I have been broadcasting live from the Safety FM studios in Orlando, Florida. We are also streaming on Twitch, video content. Yeah, video content. Did I just say that out loud several times? Yeah, video content. So that's what we got now, video content. You have been listening to the Rated R Safety Show. I know who you are. You know who I am. Love ya, mean it, bye.
Duh.
The views and opinions expressed on this podcast are those of the host and its guest and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of the company. Examples of analysis discussed within this podcast are only examples. They should not be utilized in the real world as the only solution available, as they are based only on very limited and dated open source information. Assumptions made within this analysis are not reflective of the position of the company. No part of this podcast may be reproduced, stored in a retrieval system, or transmitted in any form or by any means, mechanical, electronic, recording, or otherwise, without prior written permission of the creator of the podcast, Jay Allen.